Good morning. Thank you all for joining. We're just going to give folks a moment to clear the waiting room and connect to audio so we can make sure everyone can hear us. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are speaking before the board. We do still have folks entering from the waiting room, so we'll just give one more moment to make sure everyone is able to participate. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman of the Board, Kathleen Joyce.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm Chair of the Boston Licensing Board, and today I'm joined by Commissioner Kiana Saxon and Commissioner Liam Curran.
Thank you. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly if you are presenting before the board. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You'll make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the chair and commissioners. Following questions, there will be an opportunity for testimony, beginning with elected officials or their representatives. For members of the public wishing to testify, please limit your testimony to 2 minutes, and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. We'll begin with the first item on this morning's agenda, calling item number 1, Momo Ventures, Inc., doing business as Sofra Bakery, located at 210 North Harvard Street in Allston, has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above. A 5,365 square foot bakery and cafe with takeout, 1 story, 32 seats, 52 standing, with a large kitchen with bakery and food prep. Kitchen allows for 17 personnel, 3 bathrooms, dish room, office, staff dressing room, and storage rooms, 12 outdoor seats on an annual private patio with a closing hour of 9 p.m. both inside and outside. Manager Maureen Kilpatrick, hours of operation 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
I am Anna Sortune, one of the owners.
I am as well, Gary, one of the owners.
Great, thank you very much. If you could please briefly present the proposed concept to the board.
Okay. What we plan on doing is opening the Sofa Bakery, which we already have one existing one in Cambridge, and it'll be a bakery and cafe, serving the public with 32 seats inside and then 12 seats outside. And we're basically doing the same thing we're doing, offering sweet and savory items along with coffee and other drinks. Nana, you want to add to that, or?
Our hours are planning to be 8 to 5, 7 days a week. However, we may decide if things go well to extend them a little bit into the dinner hour. But as it stands right now, we're trying to begin with an 8 to 5, just as we do in the in the Cambridge location as well. But essentially it's the same concept. It's just a slightly larger space as our Cambridge location that's been there for 15 years now.
Thank you very much. We'll see if there are any questions from the board. Chairman Joyce.
Thanks, Danny. Do you plan on doing any third-party deliveries from this location?
Yeah, we're gonna move all the bakers into this one location just because the production space is bigger, and we plan on running the pastry, just the non-perishable pastry items from the Allston location to the Cambridge location on a daily basis. And We've
You're talking delivery to the public, correct?
Yeah, like Uber Eats.
Yeah,
no.
not initially. We may eventually go into that. We just want to get started, get off the ground a little bit. And then we'll be looking into where we can kind of expand and add.
Okay, I'd just like to request if you do plan on adding third-party delivery that you notify the board. We'd
Okay.
just like to see a written plan for that.
Okay. Yeah, at
Um,
this point in time, we're not. So, but
Okay,
when we do, we will notify.
thank you. I have no questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
None from me, thank you.
No questions from me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes. Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information in the community process. ONS had the applicant reach out to abutters as well as the local civic association. We did not hear back from any abutters regarding any opposition letters or letters in support. They met with the Alston Civic Association, which voted to support this proposal. With that, we'll defer to the board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I do see a hand raised from a Paula Alexander. Miss Alexander, I will ask you to unmute and you may please provide your testimony. Oh. Here we go.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. I'm a very close abutter. My home is located at 210 North Harvard Street in Alston. I'm Paula Alexander. And so I'm 2 doors away from the site of the bakery. And the neighbors were pretty enthusiastic about having the bakery there. However, we at one point we saw that they wanted to stay open until 9 p.m. and we think that's a bit late because there are direct abutters who are basically just feet away from their outdoor seating. And there is also a Dunkin' Donuts, there's a Starbucks, there's a Swiss Bakers, all within a block. And after 5 o'clock or the dinner hour, there's really not much activity in the bakery. If anything, people seem to like to have coffee, starting maybe a bit earlier than 8, maybe 7. But to go 5 is okay, I guess, but to go later than that, I think might be a problem for us. And there's also, they had plans to put an outdoor freezer in the parking lot area or the loading dock area on the side, very close to a budding neighbor. And we had asked about how what the noise will be from running that freezer. It's a separate from the building, and it would. So we wanted to find out how noisy that would be running. I would assume it runs 24/7 for a freezer.
Thank you. Ms. Alexander, you are approaching your 2 minutes. You may
Okay,
also
okay. All right,
Brad.
thank you.
board at boston.gov. Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? The board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 2, Aya Pizza LLC, doing business as Redline Pizza, located at 580 to 582 Dorchester Ave in South Boston. Holder of a common victualler license has petitioned to change the hours of the licensed business from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. With the condition of 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. for deliveries only to 5 a.m. to 2 a.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant? Oh, Attorney Cannell, I see you speaking, but you're on mute currently. Oh, and 1 moment, I've just asked it. There we go.
All right, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Good morning, Attorney Green, Chairwoman Joyce, board members, John P. Connell from Upton, Connell, and Devlin for the licensee. And with me, I have and can see Marus Ramadan, the owner, and his daughter, Heba Mohammed.
Thank you, Attorney Cannell. If you want to propose the proposed changes to the board.
Sure, thank you. The applicant is seeking it currently is open till 2 a.m. for delivery purposes. It's Its current hour is 11 p.m., however, for in-house seating and takeaway. We are applying to extend the 11 p.m. hour to 2 a.m. for both seating and takeaway. We've met with the neighbors, extensive neighborhood outreach. We know there are issues with the neighbors. Having said that, we are willing to settle for just takeaway till 2 a.m. and section off the seating so there is no seating in there from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. And in support of this application, I would like to point out that the Dunkin' Donuts across the street is open 24/7. The Sports Connection, which is, I think, 3 storefronts up Dorchester Street, is open till 2 a.m. with alcohol. And a place right across the street was just licensed for 2 a.m. as well with alcohol, Small Victories. So there are a lot of people that get off at Andrews Station between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., mostly second shifters, people returning from work. And this is a natural place for them to walk in, order food, and bring home. We think if we are allowed to do this, this will also cut down on the amount of delivery vehicles that have to sit outside between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. And we think it would be a benefit to the neighborhood. I understand there's some opposition. We've submitted a petition, I think, with about 140 signatures. Mr. Ramadan has operated this pizza place, if you will, since 2012. He's an Egyptian immigrant. He's worked very hard. He needs, he believes, this additional income to support the business. They have 8 employees, all of whom depend upon their job here to support their families. So we understand there's been some issues in the past. We've endeavored over the last several months to correct whatever issues you've had. And having said that, that's our application.
Thank you, Attorney Cannell. We'll see if there are any questions from the board at this time. Chairwoman Joyce, any questions?
At this time, no, but I do reserve my right to ask questions following the other testimony.
Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
Same for me.
Thank you.
Not at this time, thank you.
Thank you very much. We will begin with elected officials, but first, if those who are wishing to testify could please use the raise your hand function, and I will call on you in the order that I see hands raised. In the meantime, are there any elected officials or their representatives who would like to testify on this matter?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information on the community process. Our office hosted a butters meeting on February 15th of 2024 about the proposed extension hours to 2 a.m. Those in attendance mentioned some concerns relating to improper storage of trash, lack of mitigation of disruptive patron behavior, and concerns over safety. Summarily after that meeting, our office received 25 letters in opposition, alluding to citations from the City of Boston's licensing board for violation of current business hours in the past. There was also concerns over the extension of hours to 2 a.m. might contribute to existing antisocial behavior and vagrancy that sometimes occurs in this part of South Boston during the late hours. Andrew Square Civic Association voted to oppose this proposal, and the Friends of North Broadway Civic also voted to oppose the proposal as well. Our office received letters of opposition from Representatives Beal and Representative Moran. We'd like to also note, though, as the applicant's representation mentioned, we did receive a petition with over 100 signatures in support. The board should have access to that. We're unaware of any additional concerns beyond those mentioned at this time. With that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Are there any other elected officials or their representatives who wish to testify before we move to general testimony?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. This is Laura Toledano from Councilor Flynn's office. I will read his letter of opposition for this proposal. I am writing in opposition of the proposal from Red Line Pizza, which seeks to change the closing hours to 2 a.m. in-person closing. This proposal has received overwhelming opposition from neighbors who are concerned about the negative impact to their quality of life, especially as the area around Red Line Pizza is currently a location of significant public safety and public health concerns, including trash, rodents, vagrancy, and open drug use. This proposal received strong opposition from the Andrews Square Civic Association, as its members are anonymously voted to oppose the change of hours. In particular, residents are concerned that an extension of hours will exacerbate existing quality of life concerns, as well as public safety issues in the area. There were numerous 311 calls regarding this restaurant, and there were at least 2 violations for operating after hours, as well as incident reports of fights and disturbances in the area. Neighbors have reported that the owner also shows lack of willingness in maintaining proper trash removal. In short, residents in the area view this application to change its closing hours to be detrimental to the neighborhood. I hope that the board will take the concerns of my neighbors seriously and vote to deny this application. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact my office at ed.flynn@boston.gov or 617-635-3203. Thank you for your consideration.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Liam Remus from Counselor Fitzgerald's office. Our office would like to go on record in opposition to this proposed change in hours of operations. Although this address technically is in District 2, District 3 directly abuts this location, and we have heard from many residents that the 2 a.m. closing time would have a negative impact on the area. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or their representatives who would like to testify on this matter? Great, I will move to the hands I see raised. The first is Patty McCormick. Ms. McCormick, I will ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes to provide your testimony. Ms. McCormick, are you with us? We will come back to you. The next hand I see raised is from Sergeant Fitton. I will ask you to unmute and you may please provide your testimony to the board.
Good morning, Sergeant Fitton, Boston Police Department, District 6, South Boston Community Service Office. In the past, since 2021, we've had 35 calls for service in the past year for that establishment. 8 year-to-date incidents, 6 after-hours incidents, 2 of which were licensed premise violations for after-hours operation. So for this past year, we are seeing 6 incidents after hours. The website for Redline Pizza still states 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. for pickup and delivery. They just don't seem to be truly adhering to the guidelines as it is.
Thank you, Sergeant Fitton. The next hand that I see raised is Maria Bermudez. Ms. Bermudez, I will ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes to provide your testimony.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I oppose this request. I am a homeowner in the Andrew Square area. As you know, we have a huge problem with vacancy and open drug use. Staying open till 2 a.m., even only for pickup, will attract some additional homeless, more traffic in the area late in the evening, and it will magnify the unsafe environment that we're currently experiencing. I urge you to not approve this request. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will see if Ms. McCormick was able to connect as her hand is still raised. Ms. McCormick, are you with us and are you able to provide your testimony? Okay, the next hand I see raised is from Carl Blando. Mr. Blando, you may please provide your testimony. You'll have 2 minutes.
Good morning, sir. I'm Sergeant Detective Blando with the Boston Police. I work over in South Boston. Just to follow up on what Sergeant Fitton said, I know Billy Gallagher, who works for licensing, couldn't be here today, but he wanted to show that in his reports, he's told the owner, you know, from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., it's only supposed to be delivery drivers going in. So even though they keep getting warned of this, we still get calls for people fighting in the restaurant. And it's always after that 11 p.m. time. The officers, you know, some of the new officers don't know that there's that customers are not supposed to be in there, so they just deal with the issue. But I can see the complaints and why, you know, we want to just show. It would be nice to see if the owners could stick to their 11 p.m. finish for a while to show good faith in that, and then maybe we'll consider, you know, approving them for the future. Thank you.
Thank Thank you. Ms. McCormick, I do see you're on camera now. Are you able to communicate with us? There we
Hi,
go.
can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, great, thank you. Yeah, I just want to say Red Line seems to have no respect for the neighborhood and disregards rules and regulations in the city of Boston. And please deny their request. I believe they do not deserve to be rewarded for contributing to the unsafe and unhealthy environment that the police, elected officials, our residents, and ASCA are working very hard to change in our neighborhood. And I also want accompanied by Linda Zablocki, who would also like to add her 2 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Zablocki, are you there with us?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everybody. First, I would like to just bring out something. We had a meeting with Andrew Square Red Line Pizza the last Monday in February, which was like the 24th or something. And I went by there on March 2nd and March 3rd and submitted pictures of the trash overflowing. I mean, cans of pasta sauce that weren't even rinsed out. They were cited. They've been cited many times. I go by there a lot and see this, and it's very, very unhealthy. It's a rat infested area there, and the first few barrels in that whole alley belong to the Red Line Pizza. We've spoke to them a lot at the meeting about how it's up to them to call the police instead of people calling the police and having them there when there are people around that shouldn't be. It's just a magnet. It's a magnet for, so is 7-Eleven and so is Andrew Station. And the lawyer can mention Dunkin' Donuts. They call and they take care of business, and we've never had a problem with their trash. Sports Connection has never had a problem. Maybe a fight once in a great while, but otherwise not. Small Victories is brand new, and let's give them a chance, because if any of these businesses had problems with licensing, we would be here and we would be just as voiceful about not having them continue. So the problem being is because we have no respect for the neighborhood. We were told by them at the meeting that they would definitely take care of the trash situation. 2 or 3 days later, it's still the same. And as of last night, there was trash out. It was picked up evidently this morning, but it was out at 9 o'clock last night when I got through at work. And I also have pictures that I can send to you to show. I just think it's disrespectful of the neighborhood. You know, we were willing to work with this gentleman, but when he can't work with the neighbors, how do you have one hand shaking another one, the other hand isn't there? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Zablocki. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Lou Ann, I see a hand raised. Lou Ann, I will ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes to provide your testimony.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I want to add something that has not been covered yet. So my son, in the end of March, got food poisoning from Red Line Pizza. It was pretty bad, where I was bringing him Pepto-Bismol and electrolytes. It was really bad. He's never been so sick. So I asked him what he had to eat, and he got a meatball and cheese sub from Red Line Pizza at midnight. So I found it interesting that he was actually getting a sub at midnight when their hours ended at 11 and only delivery was available. So I was also on the abutters meeting that Andrew Square had, and it's very apparent that Andrew Square is trying to carve out a really nice neighborhood. They've been disregarded for a lot of years. And if this pizza place can't work with the community and be part of that community, it's just for profit. There is no vesting in the community. It's purely for profit. They're not following the rules. There's fights there. There's ODs there. It's just a bad area. And to extend that for sit down until 2 o'clock in the morning, I think it's a bad idea. So I would also ask that you reject this request. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there any other individuals who have not provided testimony yet who wish to do so? Following testimony, are there any questions from the board? I know you had reserved your right to do so. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
I do have some questions. Attorney Cannell, did you say that you would be willing to consider takeout only until 2 a.m.?
Absolutely. We've been going through this process for a while. This office has worked with the licensee to try and improve just about every corner of their operation. A lot of the issues that were just raised, homelessness, vagrancy, drug use, overdoses, have nothing to do with whether this pizza shop can have takeout from 11 to 2. We've heard the concerns. We're trying to work through them, and we are willing to settle for just takeout. So people in the neighborhood who live down there, and I used to live down there myself, when you get off of Andrew Station, it's a natural place to get a late night meal and bring it home. And that's all we're requesting to do here. We're not providing alcohol. We're not providing entertainment. We're selling cheeseburger subs. So yes, we've heard these concerns and we've tried to tailor it just to takeout. And we're willing to section off all the seating so nobody hangs around inside.
So I've asked, I've had in-person meetings with Red Line Pizza. I've asked them to change and update their website. I understand it's not as easy as it sounds. It sounds like it still hasn't been done.
If I could just speak to that, we've been working on that. We've changed, if you go to the Google, if you Google Redline where it shows their hours, they've been able to correct that. The one website that was created by an entity called Slice, which creates a lot of these pizza store websites, they have just been unable to get into that site to amend it. It's not from a lack of trying.
Okay. So take out till 2 a.m. Does that mean you would allow people to walk in off the street, or would it be pre-phoned in orders? And what are your security measures that you would put in place for this? Because I would like to see those in writing.
We're happy to put those in writing. We're happy to have a dedicated person there to maintain, any issues that may involve for people walking in. They do want to take, call-ins and walk-ins, but no seating. And we're very committed to trying to turn this around and make it a better operation. Like I said before, the trash issue, they have the trash removed 6 days out of 7 days a week. And they share that alley with other businesses. So we're doing our best. We think this will provide the business more income and be able to be more compliant. All of the prior violations have to do with staying open past 11. And that's why we're here to try and get that straightened out.
And you may have mentioned this earlier, but what is the staffing from 11 to 2 a.m.?
They're open till 2 currently. Like the operations won't change. They're still going to be there, same amount of people. I can provide you the number of people that work there from that 11 to 2 a.m. timeframe. That probably will not change. It's just the people making the subs and the pizzas. We can devote a single person to monitor the restaurant floor as people come in after 11. If that's, we can put that in writing.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon?
How long has it been since they were last cited for operating after hours improperly?
Commissioner, I think your office would know better than me. We didn't represent them. I think it was sometime last year. And they had a suspension and we served the suspension.
That's correct. The last citation that we have is from September of 2023, and the suspensions have been served since then.
Thank you. No further questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
I'm just noting in the record that we have something in the chat that it looks like the Google sheet still has the 2 a.m. closing hour. With the owners mind addressing that?
I'll email it to the board after we're done. I looked at it the other day. It's 2 a.m. takeout, 11 p.m. I'm sorry, 2 a.m. delivery, 11 takeout and seating. That's what it should say. I have it saved as a PDF and I'll send it right after this. But we have tried to fix those issues, and on Google it should be correct. I'll email it to Danny Green after we get off here.
Thank you. I will distribute that to the board. Chairman, we do have 2 hands raised. They have both already previously testified. Would you like to hear further testimony?
Yep, they can respond quickly.
Thank you. Penny McCormick, your hand was raised first.
Yes, this is Linda Zablocki. I would just like to make comment as to what Attorney Connell has spoken about. basically 7-Eleven closes early because of the fact, I mean, I think they have a 24-hour license, but they close early because of the fact of the, I don't know what it is, a magnet that draws the area. I call it the Andrew Square Bermuda Triangle because it goes from Red Line Pizza to Andrew Station to 7-Eleven. Yes, they do share the alley, Counselor, but I have pictures of pizza boxes overflowing in a barrel that were not picked up within a 24-hour period because they were cited. And there's also 5-pound pizza cans that weren't even rinsed out and put out in the alley. So that shows me that there's negligence on that part. I also would like the board to know that we were never notified of this. We found out just by happening to look at Universal Hub. Thank you, Universal Hub, for posting this. And yes, we have a report here that there was a fight on 3/26/24 at Red Line Pizza. And then there was a investigate persons. When we spoke to the officers about this, it was a gentleman who was inside. So once the people get in there, counsel, you may say it's not the problem of the person in there, but of the owner, but yes, it is. Because once they're inside, if they start problems, if the board should allow this 2 o'clock to go, I would suggest that nobody enter that building. Get a door or a window that you can put your to-go stuff through that nobody enters. Once they're inside, it's a problem. And this is what we're having. It's a hang around. So that might be something to alleviate this. But as far as the trash, I'm very, very disappointed. We were promised all of this was going to be taken care of. And if they're picking it up, it's staying there because they would not be able to cite them. If I'm taking pictures at 8 o'clock at night and they're going there at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, it's been there. So it's not being picked up, Counselor. So that's my debate. And like I said, we have other places around that close earlier. And even the bar across the street, Small Victories, is till 1 o'clock. They might have a 2 o'clock license, but the operating hours will be till 1. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, on this matter, Sergeant Detective Blando, I'm going to ask you to unmute as well.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to mention that same report because it didn't become an official violation on 3/26 at 1:25 in the morning. They had 2 patrons arguing with each other, both intoxicated. And the police officers had to go in and remove them and then take them away from the scene. So yeah, it didn't become an official violation, but I mean, that's just a month ago at 1:25 in the morning. So again, that Captain Boyle couldn't be on this call, but that was what we're trying to say is, they have been warned about this and they're still not following up people are still in their restaurant when it should only be delivery drivers. So that's just our point on this. Like, could they good faith show that they could stick to what they have already without violating that, and then maybe we could go further in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. And there's one new hand raised, so we'll call on you briefly. Kanishka, I'm going to ask you to unmute and you will have up to 2 minutes to provide your testimony.
Yeah, so like I understand the complexity of opening until like 2 a.m. But since the the last red line closes at 12:50, so it's natural for people to just come in and grab a slice of pizza. But from the quite a few time when I'm still going there, so I find things now more sorted and like settled as before. So yeah, so I can like testify for being them open until like 2 and also extend their operations until 3. Yeah.
Thank you. And I also see a hand raised from Haley Dillon.
Hi, sorry. Haley Dillon from Senator Collins' office. Madam Chair, members of the board, Senator Collins would like to go in opposition of this based on the feedback that we received from abutters, including Andrew Square. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything further from the board on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 3, Alston Silhouette Lounge LLC, doing business as Silhouette Lounge, located at 200 Brighton Ave in Alston. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Fred Starikov to Sarah Lieb, who is present on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you, Attorney Green, and good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Attorney Ryan Gosd on behalf of the licensee. With me this morning is Sarah Lieb, who is the new proposed manager of record for Alston Silhouette Lounge. Aside from the appointment of new manager of record, there are no operational changes proposed. She is a U.S. citizen, a Massachusetts resident, is familiar with the rules and regulations regarding the sale and service of alcohol, and has extensive experience in the food and beverage industry. including having been previously a bartender at Silhouette Lounge for approximately 10 years. Having said that, she's on the call with us and we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Let me just see. She is here with us?
I'm here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, attorney, for outlining the manager of record questions. At this point, I have no additional questions.
None from me.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 4, Earl's Restaurant, Boston, Mass. Inc., doing business as Earl's Kitchen and Bar, located at 800 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victual or 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Sarah Rosenstein to Willie Gray. Attorney Trish Farnsworth. Attorney Farnsworth.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Good morning, Madam Chair, to the board, Attorney Trish Farnsworth with Lawson and Whiteson, on behalf of Earl's Restaurant located in Prudential. And also on the call is Willie Gray, who is the proposed manager. Sarah Rosenstein, the current manager, has been transferred over to the Somerville location. And Willie was previously manager on this license, so we're seeking to have him back on the license.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Gray. Thank you for that explanation, Attorney Farnsworth. So, Mr. Gray, you currently work at Earl's?
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
I've been here 5 years.
Okay, and you're familiar with all of our rules and regs?
Yes.
And you've been previously approved by this board?
Yep.
Okay. I have no further questions. Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon?
Yeah, none from me. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Calling item number 5, the Tennis and Racket Club, located at 927 to 939 Boylston Street. Holder of a club all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for a change of officers directors. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
I am Janice Pearson. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Pearson, for being with us. If you could please just briefly outline the changes to the board.
Yep, we're a small private social and athletic club with a liquor license, and the board recently expanded to have more members on it, and so the paperwork all had to be updated.
Thank you. Any operational changes?
Nope, no operational changes. All board members are citizens, live in Massachusetts, etc.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, it's also not for profit, so nobody earns any money from it. They're volunteer member who serve on the board.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 6, Wine and Liquors, Inc., doing business as Roslindale Liquors, located at 23 Corinth Street in Roslindale. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Narendra Kumar Patel to Uma Vadra. Secondly, has petitioned for a change of officers directors. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
I'm president of Wine and Liquors, Inc., and I have here Uma with me. And she will be kind of the new director and the manager for this operation. There is no operational change. Uma, she is a US citizen and Massachusetts resident. She has extensive experience working as a supervisor at this place, and she is aware of all the rules and regulations.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon?
I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 7, Blue Hills Liquors, Inc., doing business as Discount Liquors, located at 950 American Legion Highway in Hyde Park. holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Narendra Kumar Patel to Uma Vadhar, and secondly, has petitioned for a change of officers directors, similar to the last item. Who's present on behalf of this applicant?
Yes, I am the same president for the Blue Hills Liquors, and we have Uma Vadhar, pretty much same, except no operational change, and she's a citizen, good experience, and she is aware of all the rules and regulations. So thank you so much, board members.
Thank you, sir, for joining us. Again, I have no questions. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran?
I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you. Calling item number 8, Flatbread Boston Landing LLC, doing business as Flatbread Company, located at 76 Guest Street in Brighton. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to pledge the license to Icebox LLC. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the licensee. This is a matter in which the existing loan that the licensee has with the Newburyport 5-cent Savings Bank has been paid off by the Icebox LLC, which is an arm of the New Balance Development, who developed the entire parcel. They provided the funding to pay off the loan. In that regard, have requested a pledge of the license to cover that as a security interest. And other than that, there are no other changes to the business or the operation or any other such thing. Thank you. And we're happy to take your questions.
Thank you, attorney. I have no questions. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran?
I have no questions. Thank you.
None from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 9, G&V Brighton Mart Inc., doing business as Babushka Deli, located at 62 Washington Street in Brighton. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned for a change of officers directors. Secondly, has petitioned for a change of stock interest. And lastly, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Niral Patel to MD Bashirul Islam. Attorney Carolyn Conway. Attorney Conway.
Good morning. Thank you, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. I have with me today Bashirul Islam, who is under Sabata Sadaf, which is his daughter's Zoom name, so that you can see him. He's also joining us. This is currently there are two 50% shareholders. One is Niral Patel and the other is Manish Patel. Niral Patel is selling his interest in this licensee. Is 50% interest, 30% will go to Manish Patel so that he will have a total of 85%, and 15% will go to Bashirul Islam. Mr. Islam has worked there now for close to 10 years, being the assistant manager. He is a citizen. He is a resident of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and he is very aware of the rules and regulations of the board. He is becoming a director, manager of record, treasurer, and secretary. And Manish Patel, who was just formerly just a director, is now becoming a director as well as president of the licensee. Other than that, there are no operational changes at all. It's basically Mr. Islam is moving up the ladder, in becoming an owner and having a vested interest in the business as well as being manager of record.
Is Mr. Islam here? I don't see him on my screen.
Yes, he's under Sabata Sadaf. That's his daughter. Can you?
Thank you, Attorney Conway. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Islam. Your attorney outlined the manager of record questions. I have no questions at this time. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Calling item number 10, Stride Corporation, doing business as Sava's Market, located at 150 Bennington Street in East Boston. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned for a change of officers directors, and secondly, has petitioned for a change of stock interest. Attorney John Meridian. Attorney Meridian?
Good morning, Attorney John Meridian, Democus Law Offices, here on behalf of Stride Corporation. We're seeking two amendments to the package store license. One is a stock transfer. Karen Patel is transferring his entire 80% share of stock to his father, Ashish Patel. So the stock ownership will be Ashish Patel 80% and Falguni Patel 20%. Falguni is a 20% currently existing shareholder. And the other amendment is to name Ashish Patel as the president treasurer and remove Falguni Patel as a director. Other than that, there are no operational changes. So I'll take any questions the board may have.
I don't have any questions at this time. Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 11, JLS Corp. Doing business as Las Delicias Colombianas 2, located at 1231 River Street in Hyde Park. Holder of a common victualler 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to amend the closing hour of the licensed business from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
My name is Miguel. I don't know if you can see me. I'm the owner of Las Delicias Colombianas for 7 years. One sec.
You've just muted yourself. I'm going to ask you to unmute so you can continue.
You can see me now?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. The owner of Las Delicias Colombianas I've been working here for 7 years as owner as a tree. I don't know if you, Danny, see me many times here, but applied for liquor license many times. Finally, we get the license, but now we want to change the hours to 1 in the morning. I want to do a couple of events. I have an entertainment license to 1, but my liquor license says 11, so I just want to make sure doing the right thing and closing the right time to sell the right property things. I'm a citizen, but I'm a citizenship. I have all the rules. I don't know if you have any questions.
Thank you for joining us, Miguel. I don't have any questions about your status as manager of record, but about the extension from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Is it just for special events or would it be for 7 days a week?
We are trying to do it for 1 in the morning because right now I don't have a specific days to do the events. Sometimes I do on Thursdays, sometimes do karaoke on Fridays or Saturdays. And us last year on the December 31st, it was like a Sunday or something. I had to do an extension closing hour because I have an event. So I just have a restaurant, but many times people want to celebrate birthdays today, and Hyde Park is getting big. So I feel like it's time to change my hours and give my community happy, my restaurant happy, do some extra cheese for my employees, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
Not at this time. I may after comments. Thank you.
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes. Good morning, Chair and members of the board. Cecily Graham with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. ONS hosted an abutters meeting for the applicant on March 6th. The applicant met with the Hyde Park Central River Neighborhood Association on April 2nd of 2024, and the association voted in support. At this time, our office would like to defer judgment to the board.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? We'll return to the board to see if there are any questions following testimony.
I'm good, thank you.
Great. Chairman Joyce or Commissioner Saxon, any questions? Thank you. The board will take this under advisement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling item number 12, LSF Logan Airport, doing business as Legal Seafoods located at 1 Harborside Drive in East Boston. Holder of an airport common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the closing hour of the licensed business from 10 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, good morning. My name is Donna Cruz and I'm a paralegal with the licensee. And yes, we're looking to extend our closing hour from 10 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. And this would be consistent with our other liquor licenses that we hold at the airport and will allow us to better serve our customers who are arriving or departing after 10 p.m. That's it.
Chairman Joyce, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you very much. Calling item number 13, 10 City Square LLC, located at 10 City Square in Charlestown. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from the premise is located on first floor and basement, approximately 8,583 square feet. First floor consists of approximately 6,493 square feet with seating for 152 patrons, including bar area seating for 25 patrons, dining area for 93 patrons, and private dining room for 34 patrons. Kitchen and prep areas on first floor, basement approximately 2,090 square feet for storage, main entrance exit located on City Square, emergency exits located at rear. 2, the premise is located on first floor and basement, consisting of approximately 9,190 square feet. First floor consists of approximately 7,100 square feet, with seating for 185 patrons, including bar seating for 25 patrons, dining area for 93 patrons, private dining room 1 for 34 patrons, kitchen and private dining room 2 with dining area for 28 patrons, and bar seating for 5 patrons. Kitchen and back of house areas on first floor, basement approximately 2,090 square feet for storage, main entrance exit located on City Square, emergency exits located at rear, seasonal April to November patio seating located on public property, approximately 360 square feet with seating for 34 patrons. 10 p.m. patio closing hour, general closing hour of 1 a.m. Secondly, the applicant has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business to Prima. Attorney Leslie Delaney Hawkins. Attorney Hawkins.
Thank you, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Leslie Delaney Hawkins with the law firm of Prince LaBelle on behalf of the licensee. With me today is John Sweeney and Eric Allenbach on behalf of the licensee. This is a request to extend the premise to include the outdoor dining space, which was previously approved during the temporary outdoor dining process, as well as to extend for 35 seats into the contiguous adjacent, currently empty commercial space. This is an operating establishment that has been very successful and we think is an attribute to the community. We did reach out to the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, as well as the City Councilor's Office, and were informed that a community process was not required given the small extension into the adjacent space and the fact that the patio had been in operation. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Attorney. I'm just taking a quick look at the description in front of me. So the patio is going to be seasonal April to November.
Yes, it is located on public property and it has been utilized both by this establishment and the prior establishment.
Okay. At this time, I have no questions. Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran?
I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office like to defer to the judgment of this board. As you heard from the applicant's representation, previously there's been outdoor dining with the temporary program for a number of years. We're unaware of any concerns stemming from that outdoor dining. As a result, do not require a community process here. With that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this matter under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 14, the Club at Boston College, Inc., doing business as Boston College Club, located at 100 Federal Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Lincoln Street Property Owner LLC, located at 1 Lincoln Street. Premise consists of approximately 13,152 square feet on ground floor of a 36-story, 1.1 million square foot office tower. Approximately 5,273 square feet of restaurant space, approximately 1,527 square foot whiskey bar, and approximately 6,325 square foot lobby bar. Nicholas Delamonte, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Attorney Leslie Delaney Hawkins. Attorney Hawkins.
Thank you, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Again, Leslie Delaney Hawkins with the law firm of Prince Lobel. This is a little bit of a unique situation that I think the board's seen becoming more common. We do not currently have an operator. We are looking to transfer the license because of the scarcity of licenses and that we were able to identify one and enter into a purchase and sale agreement to this location. This is a commercial building that we will be returning to the board with an additional alteration of premise, and potentially a transfer to a new entity because it's currently being held by the landlord, as well as a potential management agreement, depending on identifying an operator. This will be at the ground floor level. The proposal is for establishments that are open to the public, and then also utilizing the license for the commercial spaces above. Given the fact that we have not identified an operator, we were advised that we did not have to go through a full public process, but we are committed to returning to the community, the elected officials, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services once we've identified an operator, since we're not going to commence operations at this time. We do, however, anticipate doing that very quickly, as we're not looking just to purchase this license and sit on it. We're looking to move forward. But again, given the scarcity of licenses, it was important for us to identify a license and bring it to this location so that we could actually secure an operator for the space. And we're in active conversations. The proposed manager of record is actually a current manager of record. He is a U.S. citizen. He's a resident of the Commonwealth. He's TIP certified and has experience in the industry and is familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, as well as the Commonwealth regarding the sale and service of alcohol. Regarding public need, this is obviously a rapidly growing area as people are returning to work. Especially downtown, we're seeing demand for new establishments, and we do look forward to once we've identified an operator, opening at this establishment and returning to the board with a concept to present. And we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. And just to pick up on some of the testimony you shared, licenses are very scarce in the city, so we look very closely at transfers that don't have operators. And so you mentioned that you're looking quickly to get an operator. Can you delve into that a little bit more? What does quickly mean? What are you doing? And I also want to mention that we will request a full community process when you have an operator. If ONS tells you no, make sure you come back to us, because I would like a full community process.
Absolutely. We're committed to a full community process. We are in active conversations with potential operators, so we hope to secure that in the coming months, but we will absolutely keep the board updated in writing over the next several months as we continue those conversations. But we do hope to be back before you within 3 to 6 months to request the approval of whether it's a transfer or a management agreement.
Okay, active conversations with several, more than 2?
Several, could be less than 2. We're not sure at this point. I can't speak to exactly how many individuals are being spoken to, but I know that this is something that the ownership of the building is very much engaged in.
Okay, is there anything else you can share? I mean, as a board, we're under a microscope with these licenses, and I just want to be certain that the information you're sharing with me is something I feel comfortable with. First, there was conversations. Now you're not sure if it's less than 2. Are these conversations? How far in the process are they? Are we looking at 6 months?
So just to be clear, I'm not saying we're engage in conversations with less than 3. I'm saying I don't know how many individual operators we're going to commit to. So I just want to be clear about that, Madam Chair, that I apologize if I wasn't clear. I believe that 6 months or less, we're looking to reopen this, all of these spaces in the very near future. This isn't something that we're looking to do in the long term. I completely understand that we don't want this to be a non-use issue, that transferring a license to a landlord obviously raises questions that rightfully so. But it is in this market, it has become increasingly difficult to even engage in discussions with operators if you haven't identified a license. So that is why we identified the license and applied to transfer it to this location pending those discussions, because otherwise, to be completely frank, it's been impossible to even engage with potential operators if there's no license at that location.
Okay. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran, any questions?
So this is gonna be, the idea here, as I see it, is it's gonna be a multi-point. There'll be, one license to serve these kind of different storefronts, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and with the same thing with the chair is getting at, like, how much flexibility is there, when you're searching for an operator, if they can't kind of fit this model? Are you gonna be able to make it work?
My understanding is that there are once we secure a license, there are numerous potential operators who are interested in this space. And this gives the flexibility through management agreements, which is obviously pursuant to approval by this board and the ABCC, for either one or more operators, so that all of these different storefronts can be activated.
Okay, so the idea is that you have confidence that with this pre-plan, you're gonna be able to make it work either with one person or with multiples to fill in all the responsibilities.
Exactly, Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it was a similar question. So you can start with one and add later, or?
If it is yes, you can have multiple management agreements, again, if this board and the ABCC approves.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions from the board before we move to testimony? Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Laura, did you unmute yourself to testify on this matter?
Yeah, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. I just want to confirm that we are on case 16.
Nope, we are on number 14 right now.
Okay, then never mind. I was talking to the consular and I got a little distracted. Thank you guys.
No worries. Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on item number 14? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 15, North End Pomodoro of Boston, Inc., doing business as Pomodoro, located at 364 Hanover Street. Holder of a common victualler 7-day wines and malt beverages license, has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to 204 Hanover Corp., doing business as North End Lobster Company, located at 204 Hanover Street. Premise consists of 900 square feet in one room on ground floor with dining area and seated bar, kitchen and restroom in rear, basement for storage. Adriana Ioana Travaglione, manager. Secondly, has petitioned to change the closing hour of the license from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Good morning again, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the applicant. With me this morning, Adriana Travaglione and her husband, Richard, seeking to transfer this license from its location at 364 Hanover Street to a location at 204 Hanover Street, which the applicants own. This building is at the opposite end of the street, closer to Cross Street, if you will, as you head towards Government Center. The applicants seek to transfer the license from the previous location to 204 Hanover to operate their seafood-based Italian restaurant, which will do business as the North End Lobster Company. Ms. Travaglione is an owner and is the proposed manager of record. Has substantial background and history in the food and beverage industry, is a U.S. citizen and a Mass resident. As I suggested earlier, she and her husband own the property. They also own and operate Giacomo's restaurant in the neighborhood. We went through the neighborhood review process, having met with the North End Waterfront Neighborhood Council on March 11th.
What
and
the
then-
fuck, the mic? Where's the video?
Pardon me?
I think that was just someone who unmuted by accident.
Oh, okay. And with the Residents Association on March 14th, we are aware of a letter of opposition from the NURA. We were supported by NUNIC. ONS did not require an abutters meeting because we went through the 3-meeting process in the North End with these 2 organizations. Again, we had 1 organization in favor, 1 opposed. It appears from a reading of that letter that the opposition is based almost entirely on the hours of operation, which we would simply suggest that a 1 a.m. closing hour is consistent with other restaurants in the neighborhood and certainly other restaurants throughout the city. This will be a restaurant, not a bar, a full menu, operated by legitimate operators in the neighborhood for many years. And we think it's an appropriate hour of operation given the other licenses in the neighborhood. Quite nearby, Luca, for example, 1 a.m. Brico has Friday and Saturday, 2 a.m. Umbria is a 2 a.m. license. Il Panino is a 2 a.m. license on Fridays and Saturdays, et cetera. So we think that a 1 a.m. license is reasonable in the circumstances. However, we're happy to answer any questions the board may have. And I would like just a chance to respond if we are allowed to on this issue of timing if it comes up this morning. But thank you very much. And Ms. Travaglioni is here with us and can be questioned on her particulars for manager of record or anything else that the board requires.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Could you share that list that you just recited about the?
And this is my research, so if I'm wrong on something,
Oh, no, that's fine, because Danny did some research too, but I want to make sure it was gonna make our job easier if you just
I
share
have
the list.
Luca at 226 Hanover, which is maybe 4 doors away at 1 a.m.
Okay,
Brico across the street is 11 p.m., but Friday and Saturday, 2 a.m. Umbria is a full 2 a.m. license. That's the newly opened former, oh my gosh, which place was it? It's the new restaurant down the street on Hanover Street, the steakhouse. And Il Panino at 280 Hanover is the same 11 p.m., but Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m. And Forcella, which I didn't mention, is on North Square, not as close by, but that's also a 2 a.m. license. Excuse me.
I had thought you would have covered the manager of record questions, but I'll go over them one more time. Ms. Travaglioni, are you a citizen?
Adriana, I hope you're with us here. I can't see her.
Yep, we can see her.
I'm
Okay.
right here. Yes, I'm a US citizen.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes,
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
yes,
And are you
I've worked-
familiar with our rules and regulations? And
Yes.
the ABCC? Okay.
yes, I am.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you. I have no other questions. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran?
No questions at this time. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Sierra D'Amico with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Applicant did complete the community process on behalf of our office. They did meet with both North End civic associations, in which NUNIC did send support and NURA did send a letter of opposition, stating some concerns about the close-in time of it being at 1 a.m. At this time, our office would like to defer to the board's judgment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And calling item number 16, Newsret Boston LLC, doing business as Newsret Steakhouse located at 100 Arlington Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Jewel Box LLC, doing business as Bon Mar, located at 601 Congress Street. Premise consists of approximately 3,300 square foot restaurant space containing approximately 78 seats, a bar, kitchen, private room, and wine room. John Baker, manager. Secondly, has petitioned to change the closing hour from 11:30 p.m. Sunday to Wednesday, 12:30 a.m. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to 2 a.m. all days. Thirdly, has petitioned to remove the following conditions from the license. Condition A, the license for the outdoor dining area shall provide for no more than 14 seats and for the termination of the service of alcohol in the outdoor dining area no later than 10 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday and 10:30 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and shall further provide that the outdoor dining area shall conclude all operations no later than 10:30 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Condition B, the license for the outdoor dining area shall provide that alcohol shall only be served in conjunction with the service of food. Condition C, food or drink served in the outdoor dining area must be consumed in that area or within the restaurant. Condition D, music shall not be played in the outdoor dining area at any time, and the restaurant shall observe the city of Boston noise ordinance. Lastly, the applicant has petitioned to pledge the license to Biomed Realty Holdings LLC. Attorney Michael Vigorito. Attorney Vigorito.
Good morning, Attorney. Good morning, Madam Chairwoman and members of the board. Michael Vigorito on behalf of the applicant. Bon Mar is a restaurant concept conceived by Boston's very own world famous chef Lydia Shire, who is currently the executive chef, designer, and culinary architect of Scampo at the Liberty Hotel, and the previous chef owner of Biba, Pignoli, and Loch Ober. Bon Mar intends to offer elevated new American cuisine with international influence, featuring prime cuts of steak and seafood, as well as dishes such as crispy roasted Peking duck and toasted Maine crab fideos. Bon Mar will have 78 seats spread across 3,300 square feet, according to the current plan, with a public and private dining room, as well as a bar and a wine room. The applicant requests a closing hour of 2 a.m., but is not opposed to an earlier closing hour, has contacted the Seaport Neighborhood Association, who has noted full support, and intends on hosting and serving business travelers and event goers in the Seaport area at Biomed's flagship location at 601 Congress Street. The building itself features 358 parking spaces below the building, and Bon Mar intends to coordinate the ability to offer valet parking to its diners. John Baker is the proposed manager, and Mr. Baker has significant restaurant experience. He was the general manager of Scampo for nearly 11 years, the director of operations for Newport Harbor Corporation and Morton's Steakhouse. He's joined us to answer questions for the board, as well as Ms. Lydia Shire. Happy to answer any questions. I will say I just listening to Mr. Baker learned how to use Zoom earlier today, so some issues, but I think we've cleared those up. And John, can you try to turn your video on? You're not on mute.
I've just asked
No,
you
I
to turn
could.
this video
Can
on
you
as
hear
well. You
me?
should see something pop up on your screen, Mr. Baker. There we go.
Yeah.
Great, we can see you.
Oh, okay.
Attorney, are you finished? I didn't want to
Yes,
interrupt.
yes, Madam Chairwoman.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in. Mr. Baker, are you a citizen?
Yes, I am.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes, I am.
Your attorney described your experience in the food and beverage industry. So my last question is, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of our board, the ABCC,
Yeah.
laws of the Commonwealth pertaining to the sale and service of alcohol?
I am.
Okay, and just to be clear, I did look up this location. There's not a lot of residential butters there, right? It's
That's correct.
deep into the seaport.
Yeah, it's in what building is it? Biotech building.
Okay. I appreciate that. At this point, I have no other questions. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran, do you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hello,
Yeah.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Lydia Plasky with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office corresponded with the Seaport Neighborhood Association and determined that an abutters meeting would not be necessary for this proposal. On behalf of Jewel Box LLC, DBA Bon Mar, located at 601 Congress Street, the Seaport Neighborhood Association supports this proposal. Our office is not aware of any opposition at this time and would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chairs and members of the board. Laura from Consul Flynn's office. Consul Flynn would like to go on record in opposition due to lack of community process. Consul Flynn respectfully requests that this application be denied to provide the opportunity for the proponent to engage with the community on the details of the proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Those
you.
are- Thank you. Those are all the items before the board this morning. The board will convene to vote tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. That is Thursday, April 25th. Notice has been posted to the city's website. That will adjourn this morning's hearing. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.